Hello, and welcome to today's Saturday Double Tap. And our first contract today, The Downfall of Crystal Dawn, set in Dubai and supplied to us today by Jess Wilson, 84. I'm sure I butchered that, sorry. So with no briefing, we'll move straight on to our targets, and today we have 5 of them, along with a free map. So for today's challenge, we'll be starting as the event staff, and we'll be bringing with us a vial of lethal poison, a lethal syringe, and a silenced pistol. So right from the start and off the bat, we are going to vacate this rather boring conference meeting, make our way into the kitchen next door, and avoiding the chef as best we can, we're going to grab the propane cylinder from down the side of the counter, and then we're going to make our way up to the atrium where all of our targets are located. They're grouped up nicely together, which will work in our favour. So we're just going to head straight up the stairs and straight down the corridor and past the rear of the art exhibition. I can't get my words out today. And this will bring us out towards the entrance to the penthouse area and the location of all of our targets. So we're going to take our propane cylinder and we're just going to place it in the corner of the garden area by these two young ladies vaping their lives away. We're going to retrieve the coins from the bench here. We're then going to trigger the conversation between the vulture and the receptionist. And then we're going to make our way around and up behind the receptionist, and we're going to poison her glass of water, or bottle of water I believe it is. So we're just going to quickly add our poison to the bottle on the side here. Now, the conversation has now played out and the receptionist is on her way up the stairs. So we only just have enough time to get that done. We're then going to make our way back over to the garden area, and we're now going to distract the young lady taking selfies with her phone into this little cubicle area here. Now the timing of this is such that when we jab this young lady here in the back with our lethal syringe, the receptionist will drop at the exact same time. So we're getting a 2-for-1 deal pretty much right there. So you may have noticed right up in the background the receptionist dropping along with the young lady here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move on to the vulture. And we've just missed him. He has just finished smoking his vape and he has vacated the area, but that actually works in our favour because instead of luring him into the bushes, we can then blow him up along with the two other ladies over by the balcony. So we get a nice 3-for-1 deal there. Unfortunately, the vulture didn't go over the balcony along with the two young ladies, but it doesn't matter as it counts as an accident, and all that's left for us to do is to make good our escape, and the nearest available safe exit will be the atrium elevators or lifts if you're from the UK. So one contract down, one more to go, and we will be moving on to our next location right after we get confirmation all of our targets have been eliminated according to plan, and we get a silent assassin rating. So for our second challenge today, we are off to Marrakesh for 7 years of bad luck and pipe dreams. And this has been supplied to us today by Mirhalis 120. So moving on to our briefing, 7 years of bad luck and pipe dreams. Starting location, lamp store rooftop. bring lethal poison and use it on Jeff Baker, cameraman for Pipe Dreams, and replan for 7 years of bad luck, which we are not going to do. We are going to do things our own way. So moving on to our targets, and today we have 5 of them along with a free map. So for today's challenge, we'll be starting as the waiter, and we're going to be bringing with us some emetic poison, a lockpick, and a silence pistol. So right from the start and off the bat, we are going to remain here cleaning this table, although the ashtray looks like it could use some attention itself there. Our first target, Mr. Baker, has just arrived. He's going to head into a cubicle, but we're waiting for the enforcer to move away before we can move. And if we are fast enough, we can get to the cubicle along with Mr. Baker and get the emetic poison into his shisha pipe before he starts supping on it. And that will mean we can get to him a lot quicker. We won't have to wait for him to go through his relatively short routine before he comes to the bathroom. We can just deal with him about a minute faster than we would normally. So he will make his way to the bathroom very quickly, and when he does, we can then give him a nice refreshing cold drink of water. I'm sure he will appreciate that. This is a very hot country. So one target down. We're going to move on now to our next target, and they are located at the shoe store, which is also the entrance to the underground tunnel leading to the consulate. And this target comes up quite often, Mr. Terry Strong, the shopkeeper. So we know exactly how to deal with him. We're just going to position ourselves behind the Hummer, and we're going to put a hole in one of the oil drums here. And when Mr. Strong has finished his conversation with the local guards, he will go about his routine, and part of that will be to stand by those oil drums and have a cigarette. A very unwise decision. So while we're waiting for that to happen, we're going to move on to our next target, who is also a regular on this channel, and we're going to make our way around through the lamp shop, and just on the far side we will find ourselves a propane cylinder. We're going to grab that because that will come in handy for later on. We're then going to make our way into the alleyway here and past our target, who is having a shockingly bad day, or at least he will do when we are finished with him. So there he is on his patrol. Once he goes past us, we're going to pull out our silence pistol, shoot the plug socket on the floor that is currently sitting in a puddle, and then all we have to do is pick our moment before turning on the electricity. So our target's going to come back from right to left, but there is also a gentleman coming from left to right. So our target's going to stop before the puddle. Our friend here is going to make his way off to the right, and then we can turn on the electricity, and our target will then advance into the puddle, and he will have, as we said, a shockingly bad day. So effectively 3 targets now taken care of. We're going to take our propane cylinder and we're going to throw it just on the floor around the corner by this young lady here, who's currently having a cigarette. And as long as we can get away from the area quickly enough, she will go back to her routine, relight her cigarette, and she will have a quick flying lesson. And she really did not stick the landing there. So we're going to move on to our final target, but we're going to wait before we move until all of the panic starts to calm down. We don't have to wait fully for body clear up to begin, but we do want to wait for the panic to calm down, so that when we make our way into the shop and up the stairs to the roof here, we do not encounter a panicking guard on the stairs, which is likely to happen. So once we get up onto the roof, we're just going to wait for the young lady in the white pantsuit to have her phone call, and once she finishes her phone call, she will make her way up to the upper roof area and over to the edge of the balcony, where she will take a drink and have a short, sharp flying lesson, in which she fails also to stick the landing. So with all of our targets now taken care of, all that's left for us to do is to make good our escape, and the nearest available safe exit will be the carpet shop exit, which is where we have just exited from. So we're just going to head around to the exit here and out of this rather warm country, and we are well overdressed. So there we go, 2 more trending contracts taken care of, and we just get confirmation all of our targets have been eliminated according to plan. We had no objectives to worry about, and we get a silent assassin rating. I have been Anubis, and I will see you all in the next video.